Hi guys, I'm going to show you today how to make this woven, I don't even know what everybody's calling it. It's been called a lot of different things. You can make it smaller to go around a braid, or I'm sorry, a bun, or you can make them into keychains. You can make them into bracelets. But first of all, I'm going to show you how to do the headband. And it is super simple. You're not going to believe how easy this is. And so let's get started. So what you're going to need, very simple, you're going to need a lighter just to heat seal the ends of your ribbon. You're going to need a 1/2 inch headband. You could actually go with the bigger one, the inch, and it would fit on there just fine, because this kind of overlaps. You can tell that it overlaps, but a lot of people prefer the smaller ones. So, and then I use the fold over elastic, and I buy it by the, buy a bunch, and then you're gonna line this. You wouldn't have to, but I don't know, it just makes it a little more finished if you do. So you're gonna need that, and then you're gonna need some type of glue. Some people use the E6000. Personally, I don't care for it because it takes too long to dry and I don't have the patience, and it stinks. So I use, it's called fabric tack, and it dries fairly quick, and it just, I don't know, I really like it. So that's what we're gonna use. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and line my headband. So if I can get this open, that's why. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and heat seal this end just so it won't fray. And then I'm just going to put it a little over, let me flip this over, just over the end, just a little bit. So we're just going to go ahead and put some of the fabric tack on here. The only thing I don't like about this is it's really, you got to really squeeze to get it out. And I'll do about half of it, just so I have something to still grab onto. Okay. So then I'm going to take this and just, like I said, barely put it over the end. And what I like about this is it's versus your hot glue, is you can still move it around and work it. Because once you get the hot glue on there, you're pretty much done. Okay, so then I'm going to do the rest of it. Okay, so there's the outside, and then I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue right there. I'm going to go ahead and start doing the inside. So I'm just going to squeeze some glue, maybe. I have tennis elbows, so this like really aggravates it. Okay. So then you start going in the underneath side. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's because it's going to be on their head, but I'm funny that way. Okay, so this is not coming out very good. So you just keep going until you get it lined, and hopefully your fabric tack will cooperate more than mine is. Or whatever type of glue you use. Okay, I'm gonna put the lid on this so it doesn't come out. So now then once you get to the end, I'm just gonna go ahead and take your scissors wherever mine went. And you're just gonna trim about the same distance as what that was. And then you're gonna heat seal these together. And then just squeeze them together. Okay, like this part didn't take very well, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of hot glue in there. And there. Okay, so now we have that lined. You're gonna set that aside, and then you're gonna take the colors that you want. Now I've already got one made here, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to start it, and then I'll show you how to end it on this one. But this is a red and white one, and that's why I lined this in red. You could have lined it in white if you wanted, but it's not really gonna be seen, so there's another piece that didn't take. Okay, so as far as when I first started doing these, nobody was ever saying how much ribbon you needed, and now I know why, because you really don't know until you. I just start doing it, and then I'll kind of measure it, and then keep doing some more, and then when I get close to the end, then I know I'm about to go ahead and end it off. But okay, so I'll show you how to get started. And I'm going to do a maroon and black and a yellow. That is one of our school colors around here. And what you're going to do is you're going to take both of these, but one at a time, and you're just going to fold it over about 1/2 inch. So can you see how, just enough to get another piece of ribbon like this through it. So then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue right here with some hot glue. And then you're going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to go about 1/2 inch or so, between 1/2 and 3/4. I always tend to get it too tight at the beginning, so I'm not a very good judge at that. Okay, that one's probably a little bigger, but it's okay. So then what we're going to do is you're going to take both of your ribbons, and then you're going to take one of them and you're going to put it inside the other one. This is how you're going to get started. So then it looks like that. And then if you notice, the yellow one is facing this way, which means you want to go with the ribbon that is on that same side, and you just make a loop, and then and it doesn't matter how big, you can make it big if it's easier for it to get through there, because you're going to tighten it up anyway. So you're going to pull that, and then you're going to pull it back, and then I pull the bottom piece of that same color, and then make sure you keep this yellow one tight. So then you have, looks like that. Now, this is facing this way, the loop is. So you're going to want to take the yellow one and fold it and go through. Keep the maroon one tight, the bottom of the yellow tight, and then tighten them up. And then you do the maroon and go through. See, I tend to make it a little too small. I just like them to be good and tight, but you don't want them too tight. Okay, so we've got it started, and we'll do a couple more. And you just keep doing this until you get the desired length that you want. Now I'm not going to do the whole thing since I already have the red one, but I'm going to go, I'll show you what to do on the red one on how to end it. But you just keep going back and forth like this, and you'll get faster. But see how it's coming together? Just make sure to keep them tight, otherwise they're going to be real. But you can see how that's coming together. Now what you could do is just make it so long, and then you could use like a key ring, and then you could attach that to it, and then that could be like a school their key ring that they attach their keys to. And I would still stiffen it because it's not very stiff. And then you could also, if you're going to use it as a key ring, you could also spray it with like a water repellent type that you use for your shoes. So anyway, you get the idea of how to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to finish it up. So we'll set this aside and we'll bring in this one. So as you can see, I just kind of kept measuring, and this, because it'll stretch, so this will fit that. So I'm going to go ahead and end it. Actually, I'll do a couple more just to show you. Okay, so just make sure it's all really good and tight. Now you want it to look as close to this down here as you can, as the way you started. So what I do, I go ahead, once I get that loop, I'll go ahead and pull it through just to where it's still there. You can still see it. And then I'm just going to put some glue right under here. And I'm just going to glue that down. And then you can come in here. I don't know where my other scissors went. And cut that off. And then you're going to come back here and heat seal it. And when you heat seal it, it kind of tucks it back in there. And then you're going to do the same thing with this one. Just make sure you keep it tight. Open it up enough to where you can get your glue gun in there. Squeeze a little bit of glue. Here's my scissors. I like these because they're not so big. And then you just cut that off, and then you're going to heat seal it, and then kind of tuck it back in there. And then you're done. It's all finished. So like I said, if you wanted to use it as a keychain, you could go maybe that length. You could also go shorter and use them as a bracelet. You could make school colors and use them as a bracelet. Now what you would want to do on the ends though is you would want to take your elastic and somehow, probably, I haven't done one yet, but I'm thinking I would probably try to glue the elastic in there somehow. And then that way, once you've glued it, then it'll still give a little bit for them to put on their wrist. But, okay, so now, back to the headband. I'm going to take, I'll use my bigger one for this. Back to the fabric tack. And you're just going to put fabric tack on here, and then you're just going to lay that on there. And you want it to overlap a little bit. So you could actually put it on the back of this if you wanted to, but I just kind of like to follow this. Like I said, I usually do about half of it. And then you're going to know that the caved in part is the one that will go on. That'll be the bottom. So you just kind of put that on there. I'm sorry, I am so bad at this. I get so engrossed and I get out of the view. And then you just push it on. And then, I know I'm out of view, I'm unscrewing this thing. I think I need a new one of these. It's getting harder and harder for me to do it. And actually it doesn't take a whole lot of the fabric tack because it's actually pretty good stuff. Okay. We have that on there. Just make sure it's on there good, and there is your woven, a different type of weave. I also do another type of headband that has a different type of weave, and it's a little bit more difficult, but it's cute too. And I do have a tutorial on that. Let's see if I can find one real quick. Yeah, here's a black and white one. So you can see it's a different type of weave compared to this. Okay, so that is the tutorial. If you have any questions, just leave me messages down below, and or any other suggestions. This came from a suggestion from someone who wanted me to make it. I had put this picture on my Tambo's page, and she wanted me to do a tutorial on it. So there you go. There's a pink one and a red one. What I really like about it, these are 2 ribbons, but it looks like 3 because there's like 3 different colors. But as you're weaving it, these colors turn over on the outside, so it just makes it really cute. So thanks for watching.